Everyone, this is Charmander, and in this video, I'm gonna do the long-awaited infantry tier list for legendary heroes in the game Doomsday Last Survivor. Now, the way I will be ranking these heroes is going to be based on 3 different factors. The first one is going to be power, how strong this hero is. Second one is utility, like can you use this hero in multiple different ways, such as field, garrison, or rally. And last but not least, there is going to be availability, so if a hero is decently good but not very available, then it might get a lower rank. With that being said, let's go ahead and start with the first hero, which is going to be Robert. Robert is going straight to the trash tier, mainly because if you think about it, if you're gonna have 5 squads of infantry troops in the field, that means 10 heroes in total. Is there going to be space for Robert compared to these other options? I would tell you no. There will be no space for Robert because he is one of the least useful heroes now for the infantry players. If he was a police station hero, maybe he would be a C rank, but because you have to get him from Lucky Roulette or you have to get him from the daily boost, he is just not worth it. Next hero on the list is going to be Rigoro, and Rigoro is going to B tier because he is still one of the best garrison heroes in the game. If you pair him up with Riven, his first skill activates a shield that absorbs damage for 3 turns with a damage factor of 9,600. So if you pair him up with Riven, and Riven uses her 4th skill, which is a shield bonus of 30%, you can see that that's a huge amount of shield that they're both producing, making them one of the best garrison pairs in the game. Whether they're still the best garrison pair in the game for infantry specifically is left to be debated because they released the new hero Boyd, so we'll find out as time comes if they will retain the top spot for infantry garrison or if they're going to be second place to Boyd. Next hero on the list is going to be Tom, and I'm going to be putting Tom at C tier. So Tom is not one of the best heroes in the game anymore. People shouldn't be using him for garrison actually. They tend to pair Thunder and Tom together for garrison, and it's a really bad idea. But Tom is still pretty useful in the field. He allows your troops to last longer. So if you are fighting in the field, let's say you're doing a big battle royal and you want to last longer, Tom still has his utility then. It also helps that Tom is a police station hero, making him very accessible to a lot of players. So from an accessibility standpoint, he is very nice. Next hero on the list is going to be Thunder, and Thunder is going to go to B tier. So Thunder used to be the best garrison hero in the game because of his healing abilities and defensive capabilities. Nowadays, he's not that good unless you pair him up with Victor, in which case they are the barely acceptable infantry garrison pair that you can now put together. But he's actually not too bad in the field as well. If you awaken him, he gets a passive skill, which is a new skill called Role Model that increases damage for you and nearby allies by 15% after using a skill. This lasts for 2 seconds and affects up to 3 squads. So because he does buff your team, he is still quite useful in the field, and you can pair him up with heroes like Claude or Bianca. So those are buffing heroes or debuffing heroes that you want to keep alive for as long as possible, and Thunder would be a good person to help keep them alive because of his defensive capabilities. Next hero on the list is going to be Eddie, and I would put Eddie actually on S tier because if you pair up Eddie with Stella for the purpose of rallying, they are actually the best rally combination available in the game. Eddie is also amazing in the field. You can also pair him up with Stella, and together in the field they would do a huge amount of counter damage. They're also good for garrison, believe it or not, again for that purpose of counter damage. So Eddie has huge utility in this game because you can use him in garrison, rally, and field, and he is one of the best for the purpose of rallying. So if you are one of the best at something, then you deserve to get a higher rank. Next hero on the list is going to be Adat, and Adat is going to A tier. So Adat is no longer the best infantry field hero in the game, especially with the release of Aileen, which is the new infantry field hero. She is still the fastest infantry hero in the game, so she still has a high rank because if you want to do a speed build between Adat and Miyamoto with a skin, they are still an amazing combination together for the purpose of moving around really fast. And most likely if you have a second squad of infantry, you might be putting Adat there because she's still decent. She's not bad at all. She's just not as good as the new hero Aileen. That's why she gets put into the A tier spot. Next hero on the list is going to be Miyamoto, and for Miyamoto, I actually want to make him an A plus hero or S minus, but for the sake of this, I'll put him at A, but he's actually A plus. Now, if you get him with a skin, then he's S tier. So let me explain why. So Miyamoto is a little bit stronger than Adat, but with a skin, he's a lot stronger. But even with a skin, he's just roughly tied with the new hero Aileen. So he's not the best in the field anymore. It's actually Aileen that's going to be the best in the field. Although Aileen and Miyamoto are best paired together. It's kind of like Julia, where Julia was the strongest range hero for the longest time. But nowadays, she's only the best if you pair her up with Sophie in the field, right? So it's kind of like with Miyamoto as well. But if you get him with a skin, S tier without any debate. Next hero on the list is going to be Riven, and Riven is going to S tier as she is one of the best garrison heroes in the game. She is also amazing for the purpose of field battles, and a lot of people also use her for the purpose of rallying because she's actually decent as a tank rally captain. So basically, the current meta right now for Infantry is Raiguro and Riven together for the purpose of Garrison, and they are the best pair possible. So in which case, Riven is the best for Garrison from that pair. However, with the release of Boyd, which is the new Garrison Infantry hero with a super weapon, his best partner for Garrison is also Riven. So Riven did not lose her spot. Now, if you're fighting in the field, Riven and Bodala are actually a menace together because Bodala will create a shield, Riven will make the shield stronger with that 30% boost in shield. Not to mention they last longer because of the shield factor, and Riven does a lot of damage while fighting in the field as well. So Riven has high utility, high damage, and you get her from top commander, so not that inaccessible because you can just unlock her from there and use legendary hero shards to awaken her. Next hero on the list is going to be Bodala. Bodala is going to A tier. So Bodala is an amazing hero. He is actually one of the strongest infantry heroes available in this game. Bodala pairs up really nicely with Miyamoto as well as Riven. Bodala and Miyamoto together, if you want to go with a speed build, and Bodala and Riven together if you're going more for a damage build. So depending on how you want to fight. If you want to fight like a coward, hit and run, slice and dice, hide behind shelters, then me and Bodala would be your option. But if you're going to a big battle royal, no one's really running away, you're just hitting people left and right, it's like a slugfest, like a bar fight, then Bodala and Riven would be better. So Bodala definitely is a solid A tier hero. Next hero in the game is going to be Stella, and Stella is going straight to S. As a matter of fact, I would even argue she's an S plus hero, because if you really look at all the heroes in this game and who is the best heroes, I would say Chasey is the absolute best hero in the game available right now. She is like the ultimate strongest hero, but Stella would be the second strongest. That's how powerful Stella is. And if you look at her, even though she's expensive because you have to transcend her to really maximize her power, you can use her for field, you can use her for garrison, and of course rally, which is what she was meant to do. So you can use her in 3 different areas, making her extremely high in utility combined with her high power. She is an absolute beast of a hero, definitely a must-have for any infantry player in this game. Next hero on our list, which is going to be a super S tier hero as well, is going to be Marco, who is going straight to S tier because he is hands down one of the best heroes for infantry in the field in the game. He also has pretty high utility, so some people do use him for rally and he's not bad for that purpose. Some people also use him for garrison and he's okay also. Not the best, but you know, if you don't have any other option, he's not bad. But definitely for field, he is a monster. He does rage reduction with his first skill. He does debuffing by reducing the HP of the opponents with his counterattacks for his second skill. He has travel speed reduction for his third skill. He has a shield factor, reduces the damage that the enemy deals also with his third skill. He has a pretty fast travel speed at 22%. His healing factor is not that good, but the point is Marco is a beast of a hero and you can use him pretty much with a lot of really good heroes in this game. The current meta right now is Marco and Bianca together, but I do see it switching over to Marco and Claude potentially, but Marco and Bianca is still an amazing pair. So definitely a lot of people are upset they did not spend more money on awakening Marco when he was available because he is just one of those game-breaking heroes in this game. Next hero on the list is the new garrison hero, which is Boyd, and I'm going to put him at S tier actually. Now this is controversial because he just came out and some people might say, he just came out, there's no data on him, how dare you put him at S tier? Dude, can you chill the fuck out? It is obvious already just by looking at his stats and that he is an amazing hero. Although you might argue he is an amazing hero, but maybe not for garrison, maybe for field instead. This guy is a very confused hero, as I talked about in my first look video on Boyd. But some things that I want you to really take a look at is his fourth skill called kinetic energy recovery. If you read the fine print, it says that when not garrison or in a rally, increases Boyd's warden's rage recovery speed by 30% and gains a shield factor of 7,000 for 3 seconds for every 2 rage skills he uses. So basically, he's quite the rage regeneration monster, has a huge shield factor, making him very tanky on the field. Also, when you transcend him, he has this amazing skill where 25% of the damage absorbed by his shield is deflected back to the enemy by 25%. So this is a good counter for pretty much anybody that is trying to rally him, as he will be deflecting 25% of the shield's absorption as damage back to the enemy. Not to mention, if you fully transcend Boyd, when the shield is lost, reduces damage taken by the infantry squad by 12% for 3 seconds. So anything with damage reduction is a huge bonus in this game. As a matter of fact, in my opinion, damage reduction is the most important attribute you can possibly get in this game, and the fact that he has this for his Transcendent Awakened skill makes him a really powerful hero. If you look at his second skill, Predator's Deterrence, if you transcend it, it increases skill damage by 35%. That is freaking huge. This guy is a damage dealing monster, so he is amazing in the field. For garrison, you're definitely going to be building him as a garrison damage dealing hero, not so much a garrison defensive based hero. It's kind of like Ethan. Ethan is more of a damage dealing garrison hero than defensive. So Boyd definitely has his own spot and own niche in this game for the purpose of damage dealing in the garrison, as well as doing huge amount of damage in the field as well. His only downside is he's a bit slow, so you definitely want to pair him up with a hero that moves quite fast. Heroes that I think would be good for him would be Claude or Aileen. Those would be good pairs with him as they allow him to move faster, and they both provide either extra damage with Aileen or extra buffing and debuffing with Claude. Last but not least, we have the new infantry field hero who is going to be the S tier and going to be the strongest field hero for infantry moving on forward, and that is Aileen Vault. Her first skill already deals a very good damage of 14,500 and also deals damage up to 2 other nearby targets for 8,500. So she has an AoE damage on top of her skill damage as well. She also boosts the infantry squad damage by up to 10%. So as you can see, Aileen is quite the damage dealing monster in the field. She also moves decently fast at 20% extra travel speed. So you can bet that Aileen is going to be the new menace in the field. Everyone that's infantry main needs to get Aileen, as she is a must-have. Her best partner is going to be Miyamoto. Together, they're going to be a menace. She's also really good with Boyd. So if you're doing like a hit and run field battle, then you want to pair her up with Miyamoto. But if you're doing those big battle royal bar brawl type of battles, then Aileen and Boyd would be better together, as Boyd will be boosting their skill damage. So anyways, that's about it for this video for the infantry hero tier list. The new heroes for infantry are very interesting for sure. Aileen is definitely a home run, and Boyd is a little bit of a question mark at this moment. I do think that people are going to sleep on him. I think he's better than the confusing description on his skill set, but we'll find out as time goes by. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.